Hello everyone and welcome back to TFG. This is the second time I'm recording this because the first time it crashed. But anyway, I said last episode that we might start trying to build a house this episode, but we're not going to do that. What we are going to do is jump into the Bronze Age. So, let's get into it. First order of business is... Oh, the rain stopped. I knew that was going to happen because it happened last time. Is this going to work this time? Okay, it did. First order of business for us. No, that you don't go in there. We go like this. Now, something I do need to do is get more pine supports. Didn't actually need the second or third chest. Ooh, hey, also, our ingot casts are done. Our ingot molds are done. Something I can... Oh, I already stuck the spigot, or the tree. Don't ask why I keep wanting to call them spigots. That's just me. So if I say spigot, I'm talking about tree taps, guys. Let's see how much... Yeah, we've got over 2,000 millibuckets. So we have probably at least 4 conifer rosin ready to go. But basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to do what I said I needed to do. Okay, unexpected jump cut there for a moment. I had to do a little bit of talking. Alright, so let's go deposit this stuff. We don't... let's see how many more ladders we can make out of this. 16 more ladders. That's good. And then there's the saw. That only made 32 supports. Yeah, let's make double that. Why not? What I'm hoping is we can go over here, get all the stuff we need, and we won't have to go get 10 again for at least quite some time. We can leave the stone hoe over here, as well as our fire starter and our tongs, and I don't need the chisel. So actually that's a small tool. So actually the fire starter and chisel can probably be put in a chest. Now, one thing that I do want to get to eventually is you can get, I think they're called crates. Yes, you can get wooden crates, bronze crates, which actually bronze crates are pretty easy to get, it looks like. It's a lot of bronze, but that doesn't necessarily entail it being hard. Now what we have to do, we're going to go to waypoints, cassiterite, enable. So basically what we have to do is get over here. So I'll see you guys when we get over there, or if anything interesting happens, because last time I tried to come back from over here, I got attacked by a zombie. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, we've made it over here to where the cassiterite is supposed to be, or the cassiterite vein is supposed to be. Gabbro cassiterite ore. So there's actually... It's actually like here. Cool. Okay. Give me some rocks real quick. I don't have sticks though, do I? Can I get sticks just by breaking leaves? I don't think so. I think you have to actually cut the oh, hey, there we go. That's fine. So let's get a cassiterite mine opened up. We're just gonna throw that back on the ground. And we'll just dig in right here, I reckon. Alright. No ores found in range. Excuse me? Oh. Alright, so it's actually back this direction, it appears. What happened to the other... So I guess it's actually back this way farther. Okay, let's try right here then. You are kidding me. What? Hold on, it's on the surface, basically? Okay, we'll take it. We will most definitely 100% take this. So this is actually going to be our first sort of actual quarry instead of a mine, and we don't really care if it please tell me that wasn't all of it. Okay, so there is still more somewhere around here. Question is it just, does the vein just run up this mountainside, or does it actually go underground? I think it legitimately may just be running up this mountainside. I mean, if it collapses, it collapses. There's still more in this direction. So I think it's seriously just climbing up the mountainside. Which, I'm not gonna lie, it's fairly realistic for a vein of ore to do this, from what I understand. So cool. And this should make it painfully easy to get. I don't know where that collapse just happened at. Yeah, we are gonna have a ton of tin after this. No problem getting tons of tin like this. Wait a minute, hold on. I didn't notice this earlier on when I came over here. Let's actually run down real quick. Alright, so is there ore down here? Okay, so yeah, no, it's going up the mountainside. I do much prefer the way that the prospecting pick works now to the way it used to work. And to be fair, if I hadn't already sort of decided I wanted to live where we're at just because of the convenience of getting copper, I would almost live here. But again, I much prefer where we're at, just the way it looks. Let's go back up here real quick and get some more cassiterite. I'd like to probably fill my inventory with cassiterite, maybe minus like 1 block, because I can immediately just collect tons of bricks from whatever this structure was. Let's see if there's anything in it real quick. I really doubt that there is, but it does. There is a staircase here. Okay, if you get vertigo, look away. Yeah, no, there's nothing up here, which is perfectly fine. I'm gonna disassemble a lot of this tower and take it back home with me once I'm semi-done collecting ore. So, wow, if I had just walked right there, I would have seen it exposed. Hello. Yeah, this is insane that we've got this rich of a vein just sort of on the surface. So that's 336 millibuckets, 336 millibuckets. And if we process the ore out, we'll be getting a little over twice that. Yeah, I think it would still be smart of us for me to get a little bit more of this. Oh, okay. Caused one rock to collapse. One singular rock collapsed there. Yikes. Oh. Yeah, I don't want to be under this. Yeah, and like I said, let's go ahead and grab some of these bricks out of this building. Because I'm trying to think of how many we need to make the max-sized blast furnace. Or not blast furnace, but what am I trying to think of? Bloomery, the max-sized bloomery. So I need at least a bunch. There's 4 per layer. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need at least 11. I don't know if you can use cracked bricks or not, so I'm not going to worry about grabbing those up at the moment. And I don't know if it has to be one type of brick block overall, but I would rather it look uniform. But once we get back, I will sort of explain the process of making bronze and how we're going to make the bloomery. It's going to involve a lot of bronze. And something else, sort of when I was playing through just on my personal world, is that I really messed up. And the way I really messed up my first big go-around of bronze making is that you have to pay attention to the vessel's maximum capacity. And again, I'll sort of explain all that when we get back. Let's get just a stack of these. That's only 2 more. Boom, we have a stack. So yeah, I'm going to head back now, I think. I think we've got enough tin for now. It's really not that far away from base, if I have to come back and get more fairly quickly. So I think we'll be alright as far as that goes. And I will see you guys back at base. Again, unless something interesting or fun happens, but probably not. So I'll see you when we get back. Alright everyone, we are back. I went ahead, planted some of the seeds that I collected on the way there and back. Went ahead and dug up our charcoal pit there, and I went ahead and processed all the cassiterite, which I have thrown in a chest over here somewhere without realizing it. Probably because I thought it was a rock. There it is. Yeah, we got 48, which is 4,800 millibuckets of tin. So we've got plenty of tin for quite a long time. And that wasn't even processing out the actual tin ore. So let's grab our copper and chalcopyrite, because we will need a fair amount of each of these. Let's get our vessel. Now, if we put that in there, we see that we have 100% copper, and it's 2,200 millibuckets worth. Now, let's just put 16 in there. Now you can see it's 3,800 of an unknown. So if we put 4 in there, that gives us 2,600 of unknown. That gives us 2,800 millibuckets of bronze. Now, can I go up any more? Yes, I can. Can I go up one more? Yes, I can. So now we have the maximum amount of bronze that we can actually do in this vessel. And if you want to know the recipes, I should have explained this first. I just know how to make bronze. You go to primitive alloys, and bronze is 70 to 80% copper and 20 to 30% tin. Now, let's get all this in here, get her lit off. And as this is warming up, I'm going to drop one more in there. Don't need these guys in my inventory at the moment anymore. As those are cooking up, we're going to run back over here and collect all of these ingot molds that we made back at the end of the last episode. That gives us 12 ingot molds that have not been used. Again, I can't remember exactly how many uses you get out of each ingot mold, or you're supposed to get out of each ingot mold before they kick the bucket, if you will, or they kick the mold, I guess. That was a horrid joke. It may actually tell us, go to casting. I think it may tell you somewhere in here. Maybe it doesn't. Molds. Yeah, okay, it doesn't tell you, but they have a certain number of uses. Yeah, they have a certain number of uses before they break, and if you make it out of fire clay, then they have a lot more uses. Now, this is going to take a while for this to heat up. So while it's doing that, excuse me, let's run down here and see if our bees have, or if we have any bees. I say our bees as if we have any. But let's see if we have any bees yet. And if we don't, what I may do... Yeah, no. We absolutely do not. Now, the thing about the... what you call it, is you need a climate station, which means, A, we're going to need redstone dust. We're going to need a small brass gear and a blue stained glass. Now, blue stained glass we get from volcanic glass, or silica glass with some kind of copper powder. To get this, it's actually not that hard to get this. Okay, maybe it is. Yeah, because we need saltpeter. Yep, we need saltpeter. That's great. Oh, hey, look, one of our red pines has grown. So, yeah, we're quite a ways from that. But it's, again, as I've said in, I think, every previous episode, going ahead and getting ready before you get to a certain stage of TerraFirmaCraft is always a good idea. Let's see, how do we do a pot? It's okay. So it's not like this is the first time I've done this. And, you know, we can also cook things in this, make soups and stuff like that in a pot. So, pots are always good to have, and then I need 8 logs. Now, usually when I do soups, I do fish soup, which unfortunately the river down there, which is the closest thing with fish in it, we're going to have to dig an access point into. It's not a big deal in the wintertime. It's going to be really nice to be able to have that. And pretty much, I think you can put pretty much anything into a soup. So, yeah, you can pretty much put anything into a soup. Yeah, yeah, literally, you can put anything in soup, and and you'll get something. You know, you'll get a good return. So a really good thing to do. Also, oh my, they quit doing it now for some reason. Anyway, one thing you can do, and what's really smart to do, is you can put anything in it. So, like all these pumpkins that are sort of scattered around near our base, we can put the pumpkins in the soup, fish in the soup. It'd help if I lit this off, and a vegetable in the soup. So then you get 3 of these, and that's always really great. Now, you can also make sandwiches, which, with as much grain as we have, might be a pretty good thing when winter comes, because then you'll get all 3 of those things I just listed. Well, I don't know if you can put fruit in a sandwich or not. No, you cannot put fruit in there. It does not appear. Yeah, no, you cannot put fruit. And maybe you might not be able to put fruit in a soup, now that I think about it. Okay, we're not asking questions. Yeah, you can put pumpkin chunks in a soup. Okay. So that's all good. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to process some s'mores out while I'm waiting on this to heat up. And we'll see you guys after that has heated up. And I've processed out some s'mores. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright everyone, I've done a few other things as the thunderstorm has rolled in. I've got some jute fiber turning into jute. I've got some jute turning into jute fiber. And our bronze has ticked over into, or our copper has melted down, ticked over into bronze. One thing we are going to do is we're just preemptively going to go ahead and make a couple, well, I should have went ahead and grabbed two. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of more things, or a couple of more wooden tongs, because we're going to need them. Also, what? Okay, my master volume's on 36. Weather? I don't want to completely turn weather down, but we're going to turn weather down to 50%. So that I might actually turn it down more than that, so that the thunderstorm doesn't make me feel like I have to yell. Alright. So now, we've got this inner offhand, right? So we'll grab this, and we can start making bronze. So my strategy usually is to do 3 to 4 of these at a time, and then I will cool them off. Now, in order to make what we want to make, we have to make a bronze anvil first. That was a really, really roundabout way of saying what I wanted to say. We want to keep the forge hot. So we're going to need 17 bronze ingots just to start with. And then, in order to make the bloomery to get to wrought iron, we're going to need 16... yeah, 16 more. So, it's going to be it's going to be a fairly long, drawn-out process that I probably won't show most stuff, because there's really no reason to show a full-on hour, I kid you not, probably, of casting out ingots and working them into double ingots. Now, that also means that I'm going to have to make more batches of bronze before that occurs. So, again, each batch of bronze is about 3,000 millibuckets max until we get a crucible. Because once we get a crucible, we can put... I don't remember how much we can put in a crucible per go. But it's a lot more than 3,000 millibuckets. And also, this is gonna cool back off at a certain point. Now we've got till it goes down to orange, as you can see, before we have to worry about it. But, you know, it is what it is. There's not much more we can do. And as you can see, our tongs are already at 43%. That is why I went ahead and crafted... That's why I went ahead and crafted a couple of more new ones. And again, as I was saying, I want to say, I guess, in the last video, you can craft, quote-unquote, better tongs. But the problem with better tongs is they break down so fast that it's a waste, an absolute waste of time to do it. Because it does take, just like smithing anything else, and unfortunately in my test world, that's one recipe I never wrote down. Mainly because when I made my copper tongs in my sort of test world, if you will, I only got it by randomly clicking a ton of times before I finally got it. So that really didn't get me anywhere at all. And I'm not doing that this time. I'm not wasting the time, I'm not wasting the resources. Oh, I heard a noise. It was that our jute fiber's done. So, that's cool. And then, yeah. I'll just go through all this, cast the rest of this out, get it made up into double ingots, get the anvil made, and probably cast more bronze again before I see you guys. Because nobody wants to watch hours of me doing this. Or at least I wouldn't want to watch me do hours of this, so I'll see you guys when we're ready to do the bloomery. Alright everyone, I kind of got ahead of myself when I was not recording, and then I realized that I'm down here doing something that I wanted to show off to you guys, which is our mining hammer that I crafted. So I went to do the entire outro to the video, because I thought that instead of finishing with the bloomery today, we would finish with preparations to do create in the next video. And then I realized pretty quickly that in order to do create, to even get started in create, I need to go to iron first. So we will be doing that in tomorrow's, well, I say tomorrow's video. We will be doing that in the next video whenever it goes up. Oh man, I really thought there for a second that I had not finished the support right there. Also, I don't have torches, which this is TFG, so it's not really a massive problem that I don't have torches. But I say I'm down here sort of getting ready. This has given us 3 hematite and not much pyrite. We will end up having to go, like, actually find a place to do a dedicated iron mine. So hematite, pyrite kind of mine. And actually, I think on one of the mountains there's a pretty good bit of limonite or limonite, however you say that that type of mineral. So that'll probably be a pretty good place to start, because as far as copper, as far as iron-bearing ores go, the limonite is pretty good as far as like I said, as far as iron-bearing goes. Alright, really? And this is just a really easy way to get just a little bit more inventory space while we're down here in this mine. It's not going to be much, don't get me wrong, but it'll keep us down here a couple of more minutes. But so yeah, the mining hammer, it mines a 3x3 space, and it's just a lot more efficient when you're like me. And I do not know why the game is struggling so hard right now. But it's a really good thing when when you've got a mine like this one that is already sort of set up. Because you can just go through like I'm doing here and just really dig it out. Now, that's all we're going to do in the mine right now, because, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we didn't get all that much iron, but I've already casted out enough bronze that I really need more iron. I mean, more copper. And what are we going to do with all this basalt gravel? That's right. We're going to dump it off a cliff. We're going to fill in this hole, basically, is what we're going to do. Oh, yeah, I forgot that it does that. So, basically, we're going to dump all this just down this hole until we fill this ravine in. Which is going to take quite a while, to put it simply. What? Wow. That's quite impressive that we've already filled that much of it in. So yeah, I mean that gave us a ton more copper. That is for sure. But anyway, so I think where we'll end the video today is with the bloomery, which I probably have 3 or 4 more hours of recording that I'm gonna have to put into getting to the bloomery. I wish I knew what flax was used for, and I really am assuming that is a new mechanic that is not fully fleshed out yet, because it is nowhere in this book. Did I just see it? Oh no, I saw flax. So wild crops. Yeah, it's not here. So anyway, so I'll see you guys when I have done all the ore processing, done all the bronze processing, because we only have 21 bronze. When I get enough bronze, I'll bring you guys back and show you what I'm talking about with we don't have enough bronze. So anyway, I will see you guys. For you, it's just going to be a few seconds. For me, it's going to be a couple of hours. So, see you then. Alright, I figured to end the episode out, I'll just take you through making the last plates and the process of making double plates for the bloomery. I actually didn't do this already in the way that I wanted to, but that'll be okay. So basically, how you make plates is you go over here, you weld 2 ingots together. Then you just figure out the recipe again to get where you need to be, and you get your plates. Now we needed. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong combination of buttons. You need 8 double plates for the bloomery, and I'll show you here. The bloomery is 8 double bronze plates. Now again, this can be any type of bronze, but I don't know why you would use black bronze or bismuth bronze, because I mean, you know, it's pretty expensive to get, because it's copper, zinc, and bismuth, and ain't nobody wants to go take the time to do that. Or I mean, maybe somebody out there does, but I sure as heck don't. It's a little bit of a struggle. We still got 43 copper left. I also just realized I have 2 double ingots in the chest already, so I didn't even necessarily need to use all of the stuff that I did. Then we'll grab that and throw it in there. We'll go ahead and plunk those in. I also made a scythe during the time that stuff was heating up. And I can't really show off the use of the scythe yet, but it's sort of overpowered after a certain point. When all of our crops get mature and they're ready to be harvested, I'll show off just how overpowered the scythe is, because it will actually give you extra seeds, which are, as far as I know, this is going to be the first time I've used a scythe in this particular version of TFG. So they may have patched that out, and we will we will deal with that when we get to it. I've also sort of been thinking about, as I've been doing this, and if anybody is interested in any of this, let me know. But I've also been thinking about making some tutorial style videos for TFG. I don't really feel like I'm the best at making tutorials for things. I went back and rewatched the first 2 episodes, which are all that have been posted so far, and I realized that I was thinking, okay, well, I'll do a little bit of tutorial in this, and I realized that I basically did none of that. Not worth a crap anyway. So, excuse me, if that's something you would want to see from me, then just let me know, because I would be more than happy to do it, like smithing tutorials and things like that for TFG. The downside, sort of, with TFG versus TFC is some recipes are different because you've got Greg Tech and you've got create, basically, in the mod pack. So some recipes are going to be different. Some things are going to be used for different applications than they would be in your, in your standard TFC playthrough. So, yeah, if that's something everybody would be interested in, then let me know. So, we've got what, 6 more plates to process out, and then we can build the bloomery, and like I said, that's probably where I'll end the episode off at. And then next episode, we'll get into the really fun stuff and get into the beginnings of getting iron. So wrought iron will be our best friend coming up pretty shortly. Once we get through wrought iron, and you can see I've actually been preparing a spot to kind of put our bloomery at the beginning of next episode. And then once we get a pretty good bit of wrought iron, I will show off my the feature I have the biggest love-hate relationship with in the newer versions of TFG, and that is the beneath. So the beneath, yeah, we'll just get into the beneath when we get there. That'll be probably not next episode, but the episode after that, more than likely. Okay, so we should now be ready, once I cool this off, to make the bloomery. Also, we're on day 17, which is mind-blowing to me. So we don't need the forge running anymore, which has already run down a massive amount of the new charcoal that I had gotten. I forgot there's sphalerite here, which is zinc. Yeah, zinc. So, eventually we will need zinc, you know. But here we go, guys. We have the bloomery. So, I would have sworn that was supposed to give me a quest update. But, yeah, and if you really need it, you can go to this, and it will give you sort of what you need to progress. But yeah, guys, I mean, that by far has been the longest recording session yet. Arguably, probably for the shortest video. But if I had done this straight through, sort of in the style of the past of the 2 videos that are already up, and even the last episode, we would have been on the Bloomery for many episodes. But anyway, guys, we'll end it off. Oh, well, that is not the same chestnut tree. That was the chestnut tree I ended it off under. But anyway, we'll just end it off right here, I guess. But anyway, like I said, in the next video, we will start into iron making. There's 2 different levels of iron, and we'll kind of get into that as well, and what each one of them can be used for, and what they can't be used for, how to get started, and yeah. And after that, who knows what'll happen. But I hope to see you guys here again. I hope you're enjoying this. This is kind of a nice change of pace coming back to YouTube from just starting another Railroader series. So I've really enjoyed making these videos. But either way, if you did enjoy the video, then do what all the YouTubers ask you to do. I hope to see you back here again, but even if I don't, I hope you have a wonderful day, and peace out.